Hello, hello, hello. Let me get that lamp out of your face a little bit more. Hi. Hi, I'm Silka, Heart for Art. I teach people step by step how to paint online and in my studio. Welcome to this week's episode of Hearty Tips with Silka. Today, I am going to show you how to trace a photo onto canvas. All right, if you've got a favorite photo, like Castle Point, which is my favorite place in the world as well. If you've got a favorite photo and you've always wanted to paint it, but you just haven't quite figured out how to get it onto the canvas, you're going to love this tip. All right. It's just so easy once you know how. And it's going to open up a whole new world of possible paintings for you as well. So say hi as you come on, or let me know if you're watching live or on replay. If you're watching me for the first time, you may need to give StreamYard permission to show your name if you want to comment. All good though. So let me switch you around. Let me switch you around so you can see what I'm doing. All right, I'm just going to go there a bit more. All right. So first way that you can get your beautiful new photo onto your canvas. So obviously you'll need your photo, but what you want to do is you want to photocopy it or scan it and print it at the size that you want. All right, it doesn't have to be in color, although if you want it bigger to refer to as you paint, it could be bigger, but print it to the size you want. So I've printed this one because I don't want the whole thing on there. I just want the size. So I've printed this one to the size of my canvas. All right, so you need that. And then the other thing you will need is super easy trick. A piece of carbon paper. Nice and easy. And of course you'll need a canvas on which to put your painting. So then all you do is you put your carbon paper, right? Put the canvas, carbon paper on top, position your painting where you want it. Where's my canvas gone there? A little bit further over. And then make sure that the carbon is the shiny side down, by the way. Otherwise, you'll do the whole tracing and then there'll be nothing there. And then all you do is start tracing. So I'll do my lighthouse. Nice. And isn't this the easiest, most amazing, quick way to do this? And then as you go, as long as you don't move your hand, you can check where you've been. All right. See that? I haven't pushed that hard actually, but hopefully you can see that. But you can check. As long as you keep your hand nice and still, you can just keep tracing, put in as much detail or as little detail as you want. Just keep tracing, yada, yada, yada. Obviously, I'm not going to do the whole thing, but just enough to show you. And you can check where you've been. Can you actually see that, or is it too light? Am I pushing too light? Maybe I'll push a bit harder on this bit here. Then you'll be able to see it. The lagoon at the top. This is like the most awesome place to swim and catch fish and just have the most amazing time. And then you climb up the castle, this bit up here. Yeah, I'm getting carried away now. So that's just how you do it. That easy. All right. So you start with your photo that you want to transfer onto your canvas. You photocopy it or just scan it and print it to the size you want. Get a piece of carbon paper. Trace it on, good to go. And as you're tracing, you just hold it, make sure to hold it still. You can check as much as you like, but make sure to hold it still and check your paint. You've got all of it there before you move. If you don't have carbon paper, not a problemo. All you do is you get yourself a nice soft pencil. So I've got a 4B here, but you can use a graphite pencil as well. And then you just do like we did at school. And you just scribble on the back. Everywhere that you want to trace, you put it on nice and thick. Now, put it on nice and dark. That's making an interesting noise, isn't it? Nice and dark. And then that basically becomes the carbon. So I'm going to have a really strange picture here with two lighthouses just for demonstration purposes. Then you do the same again. Do your tracing. I'm being quite rough and quick just to show you. There we go. We have another lighthouse there. All right. I haven't obviously done. Oh, no, I didn't do the top. Okay, we've got half the lighthouse because I didn't have any lead behind there, but it works just as well. All right. So that's the easy, super simple way. Another way you can do it is to use a grid. All right. What you do is you have your original, all right, and you basically draw a grid onto it. You break it up into squares. So here's one I prepared earlier. So I've just broken this up into squares. I would actually do it on the photo or a printout of the photo. And then you also do exactly the same amount of squares. So we would do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then across the same amount of squares. Okay, these are not very even. I would be paying more attention if I wasn't talking to you at the same time. Say hi, by the way, if you've come on. Let me know who's here. Let me know where you're watching from. But yeah, so you have your original, you draw a grid on it, and then you draw your grid on your canvas. Obviously your proportions will need to be the same. Okay, you don't want to have a square canvas and a rectangle photo because that's going to skew if your image. And then what you do is you just sketch one square at a time. Okay, so rather than looking at it and thinking, oh gosh, that's so hard, I could never draw that, you just do one square at a time. Okay, so I've done most of the squares, but so I can do this bit here. You can see it starts a little bit underneath and it goes a little bit up to the corner of that, and then the next one goes up to the corner of that, and look at that, it joins up with my other one. And you basically just break it down and do one square at the time. All right, see, that would be easy to do that square all by itself, right? And then you do that square, and then you do that square, and you just do all the squares separately until you've got your whole painting. Easy, right? Now, one tip for that though is just to use a really light touch on your grid. Okay, now the reason for that is that some colors are very transparent. Blues for skies are not, but if you're doing something that's got like yellows and reds, they're really transparent colors. So if you do your lines too dark, you will potentially see them through the paint. All right, so it's literally just enough for you to be able to see where the square is. So you can do a nice, really, really light really light grid. I'll show you how I did it for Castle Point. So you can see here's my sketch that I did before I created this painting. And you can see my sketch, but you can hardly see the lines. I just did them so light because that way they're not going to become a problem in the painting later. All right. And you'll have to paint over them or rub them out or something. But just do them nice and light. You don't need them to be very strong. Okay, and obviously if it's a more complicated original, if you want it to be a bit more detailed, then just do more grid lines. All right, you can do 4x4, 5x4, 5x5, 6x6. You can do as many as you want, and then do the same amount of grids on your canvas as well. And you will find that a whole lot easier, and you will actually be able to sketch the detail really easily because you're doing it one square at a time. It's like that saying, how do you eat an elephant? One spoon at a time. How do you sketch an awesome painting? Or how do you sketch an awesome photo onto your canvas? One square at a time. Not spoonful, one square at a time. Yeah, so that's how you do it. If you're coming to Castle Point to paint Castle Point with me next weekend, we are having cake and painting. We're painting this next weekend on the 14th for my 100th. But if you're coming, this is how you are going to sketch your Castle Point onto your canvas before we paint. All right, it's a whole lot easier than you think. I've done this painting with people before, and everybody gets beautiful Castle Point. So if you're coming to join me next week to paint Castle Point, this is how I will make you sketch your Castle Point onto your canvas. You'll draw a grid, and then you'll sketch each square one at a time until you've got your whole thing, and then we paint. Yay! So it's super easy, you'll see. If you want to join me for this one, we've still got a few spaces left. Pop over to my website. We're having cake as well, yummy cake, because we're celebrating my 100th paint party. So pop over to the website, grab yourself a seat. There's the address there, heartforart.co.nz, and come and eat paint. No, wait, come and eat cake and paint Castle Point with me. 14th of August, if you're here and in Wellington. If you're not here and in Wellington, or if you're watching this on replay after the 14th, then pop over to my website anyway. Go and have a look at the on-demand painting tutorials, and this one is there as well, and you will get me showing you step by step in a video that's pre-recorded, and I will show you how to do your grid and paint your Castle Point as well. So you still paint that even if you're not in Wellington or you're watching this on replay afterwards. So yay, say hi if you're here. Let me know if you found that helpful. Was that helpful? Will you do it? Have you got any beautiful painting photos that you want to turn into paintings? Go and have a look. Go dig them out. Get tracing and get painting. Yay. Did you find that helpful? Let me know if you found it helpful, whether you're watching this live or on replay. Ansul Singh says, hi. Hi, Ansul. Nice to see you. Where are you watching from today? Now, if you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget there's heaps more on my blog, but do like it, share it, tell other people about it. There's other people you know who paint and maybe struggle with a few things. Share it with them. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to my channel, then you will not miss any future tutorials and tips. All right. So yeah, thanks for watching, and look out for my next episode of Hearty Tips with Silka. I'm thinking next week I'm going to do another free easy little painting tutorial. I'm thinking something tropical and beachy, just because it's winter and I'm hanging out for the beach. So I might do a nice beach scene. So yes, look out for that next week. Same place, same time next week. All right. And I hope to see you behind a paintbrush soon. Whatever you do, have fun. All right. Bye.